question. What can I do to help the Black Lives Matters movement? It's a sincere question. That's why I want to make this video, to have this discussion, to have this conversation, because ultimately that's one of the things that's rising up from Black Lives Matter, that we need to be having a conversation. But the problem for me is I don't understand personally and physically what I can actually do. I think what confuses a lot of people who are white by Black Lives Matter is, well, I guess step one, don't be a racist. And so then it turns into this thing where white people are ultimately trying to prove to black people and each other, it's like this contest almost between white people, proving to each other how not racist they are, and that they do have black friends, and that they do care about black people. But that's not actually helping anything. I don't think. It just seems to be a superficial contest, ultimately. I'm not racist, let me prove it to you. That almost becomes part of white culture, is to prove that you're not racist and that you care about black people. So Black Lives Matter, white people respond by trying to prove they're not racist to black people, but almost more so to each other, to white people, a contest of who's not racist. But, and, you know, all these, the hashtag with the blackout screen, Black Lives Matter, actually, with me being behind the scenes doing SEO stuff, I actually know that hurts the cause. If everyone's using the same hashtag Black Lives Matter and they just have a black screen, what that actually does is it clogs up the information and it keeps people from actually getting relevant information. It's actually hurting the cause. So, and that's how people are online. They do these things to make themselves feel better about something, but they're not actually doing something, which is why I make this video. I want to know what I can actually do. So I have Googled this. I have Googled, how can white people especially help the cause of Black Lives Matter? What can we actually do? Assuming that we're not racist, what can we actually do? So what I've found so far is, yes, having open conversations, participating in Black Matters protests, but ultimately for me, I want to fast forward to, but what am I hoping to accomplish? Another thing that pops up when you Google this is start voting the right way. But see, for me, I already didn't vote for Trump in the last election. I'm already not a Republican. So I would imagine that the way I vote already by default is not going to be against Black Lives Matter. I would think. I have black neighbors. I go to a church where one of the pastors is black. I have been, and as far as the concept of, white people need to be more aware of and sympathetic. I remember when I was 16, this is a long time ago now, I was 1997 when I was 16, but I remember at my kitchen table talking to my mom. I remember I actually was like on the verge of tears talking to her about this. I said, I don't understand how it's fair that I have the life I do, where everything is kind of there for me. Yes, I have to work hard, but everything's presented for me there. I have a good situation I've been born into. And I remember saying to my mother, specifically, I said, I could have been born in Chicago, and I could have been black, and I would have much more of a different life and a much more struggle. It could have been that way. I remember saying that out loud in 1997. It bothered me even back then that the black struggle is real. So I feel like I have this lifetime of understanding that it's not fair, but I don't know what I can actually do. So is the answer to go to protest and to keep voting the way that I'm voting, and to keep being friendly to my black neighbors and going to the church I go to where there's a black pastor, where it's a multi-ethnic denomination? I mean, I'm very aware of things. I work in HR where there's something called Ban the Box for hiring, and it's to make sure that no one is discriminated against based on their criminal background. So specifically that was started by a man who was black. I watched the episode on Adam Ruins Everything. He has an episode about it, and he interviews the guy. He talks all about it. It's something I strongly believe in, and I work alongside that. I'm aware of even like Vietnam. Many of the soldiers were black. They were basically recruited, they were drafted, but they were more likely to be taken off to war to fight this ultimately imaginary cause in Vietnam. Not that that's the only time that's happened. So I'm very aware. I feel as far as awareness goes. But see, that goes back to white people having this contest with each other on who's the most woke. I feel what would help me personally is if I could have people tell me specifically what I personally can do different in my life to help Black Lives Matter. Because I feel like ultimately most white people are responding by saying, I'm not racist, let me prove it to you, let me prove it on social media, but it's just this contest white people have with each other. They're not actually helping anything. So what if you're like me? You already aren't racist, you already definitely care about black people, you recognize that it's not an even playing field, you recognize all this, and you actually want to help change that. Can I have help making it very simple? Like, make a list for me. I'm a type 1 Enneagram personality. If I have a big long, story about it, it won't help me as much as just a simple list. Could you make it really simple for a guy like me? What can I physically, personally do that I'm not already doing that will help Black Lives Matter to actually make things better for black people in the United States? Can you make it really simple, make a little list, not a big thing, but just something really simple? Because I think that's what would help. I think as far as helping white people understand it, there's a saying that good communicators can take a complicated topic and make it sound simple. And that's what I'm asking for you to do. This is complicated. Will you make it simple? Just a little list, specifically what I can personally, as a human being, physically do in addition to what I'm already doing. How can I help? I'm sincerely asking. I don't know. I am ignorant on this topic. Please help. Comments right here.